Hello, and thanks for tuning in to Financewize, the show that empowers you to make informed decisions about your money. I'm Dancer Costume Malani, and in today's episode, we'll be talking about spending. But first, let's look into exactly what spending is. Spending is paying out money for goods and services such as food, household appliances, and clothing. We pay out money for the basic things that we need. It can either be for an individual person or for a company. Today's episode on spending is sponsored by the Financial Literacy Initiative. As you know from our previous episodes, the Financial Literacy Initiative was officially launched in March 2012 in order to improve financial education and consumer protection. The FLI was rolled out in the Commerce, Irongo, and Northern regions and will soon be going to the South in July and August. According to the FinScope 2011 survey, a national survey of financial services needs and usage amongst consumers, almost half the adults in Namibia earn 1,000 Namibian dollars or less, while 90% do not receive a regular income. The survey also revealed that 60% of Namibians surveyed had difficulty keeping up with financial commitments, while 24% of them often struggle to make ends meet. Given these worrying statistics, it is even more important for Namibians to be conscientious about their spending habits in order to avoid these financial challenges. Now let's see what ordinary Namibians have to say about spending.
What are the top 3 things that you spend the most money on?
Well, would be my house, my basic natural bills like my insurance and everything, plus my savings, life savings.
My kids, cologne, and cab.
Toiletries, shopping, clothes, and taxi mostly. Yeah, that's it.
The top things that I spend my money on, I use my money to pay rent. I help my child. I help my family. I buy my food and and other cosmetics that I need.
What sort of things do you feel you waste your money on? Like, do you feel sometimes during the end of in the middle of the month you have overspent your money and you're running out of money?
Yeah, I do feel sometimes like just buying unnecessary stuff, which are not necessary buying in the middle of the month. Yeah.
Which is like what?
Buying clothes, like ladies sometimes like buying clothes. So yeah, mostly that's it.
Towards the end of the month, I'm usually broke. That's the week of depression, as I usually call it. But mostly I spend my money on clothes. That's important for me. I need to have the latest things each and every month.
Alcohol. And entertaining unnecessary people, like friends.
Do you think that you spend your money wisely in general?
Yeah, I think I spend it wisely. Why? Because I'm putting in school, and school will obviously bring it back. Well, I could fix up a little bit. I could spend it a little wiser. But right now I don't think I spend it that wisely.
What do you think you could do to spend your money better?
Probably have something to invest on. Yeah, probably have something to invest on. For example, if I had any responsibility, or if I had anything important to spend my money on. But right now, I'm still young, trying to have fun. So yeah, I basically don't have anything that important to spend my money on.
Yeah, sometimes I spend my money wisely. Sometimes I find out that I misuse my money.
What do you think you can do to spend your money better?
Just budget. I think I should budget more on what it's necessary for me to buy within the month. So I think that will be necessary for me to spend my money wisely.
Most of us already know at least a little bit about spending, but the next clip will give you some more detail on improving your spending habits and what we can all do to improve our financial situations by making better decisions when it comes to the way we spend our money. Many of us make purchases and later regret spending too much money on an item, or wonder why we even bothered to buy that item in the first place. If this happens to you often, it means that you regularly engage in something called unplanned spending. Unplanned spending to purchase things that you may or may not need is also often referred to as impulse spending, and using credit for impulse spending can contribute to a cycle of ongoing financial difficulty. Money is always harder to earn than it is to spend, and while you may feel that it is time to buy a new pair of shoes or a new TV, planning such purchases into your budget so that you have the funds in your account before you go to the shop allows you to maintain greater control over your money. Unwise spending and unplanned spending can lead to debt, and in some cases a significant amount of unmanageable debt. One way to better manage your spending and to reach your financial goals is to use a spending plan. A spending plan is a strategy for saving and spending money. It is used as a guide to help you track how much money comes into your home or business and how it needs to be divided to meet expenses, reduce debt, and reach your savings goals more easily. A spending plan is a very useful step in taking control of your personal finances and is necessary in achieving your financial goals in the future. Number 1. Make a list of what you need to spend money on per week or per month. Number 2. If you want to spend on additional items, which you might not necessarily need, check your budget first. Number 3. Do not spend all your money, but save some of it. Number 4. Live within your means so that you can save. Number 5. Spend only on what you need. Wise spending habits eventually determine how much you are able to save, and everyone can benefit from reducing their expenditure on non-essential items, no matter what your income level, whether you're employed or self-employed. In the next clip, our resident investor Peter shows us some of the practical steps to improving your spending habits as per the FLI spending booklet. Here are some hands-on practical steps to spend less and more wisely. You can prepare lunch at home instead of buying lunch every day. Switch off the lights when you go out of a room. Don't let household appliances run unnecessarily. Now that we're in winter, don't overheat your home by using the air conditioner. Look at the charges of the financial products and services and carefully choose the one that best fits your needs. Buy in bulk, and generally compare different prices for goods and services and choose the ones that are best in terms of price, quality, and fit for you. Remember, wise spending will save you money. We asked some FLI platform partners to give us their views and advice on spending. See what they had to say in the next clip.
My name is Emma Hayambo, Deputy Director for Financial Sector Development within the Strategic Communication and Financial Sector Development Department of the Bank of Namibia. The Financial Sector Development Division is a newly created division with the aim of coordinating and facilitating the implementation of the financial sector strategy for Namibia. The Bank of Namibia was created by an Act of Parliament, the Bank of Namibia Act of 1990. Now, this is the central bank of the country. In terms of the objects, as per the Establishment Act, the Bank of Namibia aims to promote and maintain sound monetary, credit and financial system in Namibia, and sustain the liquidity, solvency and functioning of that system, to promote and maintain internal and external monetary stability and an efficient payment mechanism, to foster monetary, credit and financial conditions conducive to the orderly, balanced and sustainable economic development of Namibia, to serve as the government banker, financial advisor and fiscal agent, and to assist in the attainment of Namibia's economic goals. For many Namibians, the monthly income doesn't last until end of the month. Some might actually argue perhaps the income end is not sufficient, but it could also be an issue that has to do with the spending behavior of the majority of us. At times, our spending is not guided by a proper budget, and we thus end up spending all of our monthly income, or even spending more than what we earn, given the availability of credit facilities and so on. Just recently, a press release statement by the Bank of Namibia expressed concerns of increased borrowing by households towards less productive activities, personal loans, credit cards, and overdrafts. And it actually cautioned that households minimize that kind of borrowing. The statement also indicated a concern regarding the declining savings rate for Namibia. Why is that? It's because that trend is not good, both for an individual and the economy as a whole. Bad spending is really bad in the sense that it has a negative impact on the quality of life of an individual and or on an SME. For instance, if an individual has bad spending habits, they are not able to save for any eventualities in the future or even for holidays. They likely buy things on credit, including consumption goods, and they could even end up in a vicious debt cycle as a result. For an SME, bad spending can affect its ability to grow and develop, and even its ability to honor its obligations in terms of loan repayments, for instance. Or it may even affect its ability to secure loans with lending institutions, as the record of such an SMEs would not be a good record at all.
Test your financial knowledge and SMS the correct answer followed by your name and your age to 77077 and stand a chance to win a cap and a t-shirt from the Financial Literacy Initiative. Remember, SMS your answer A, B or C, your name and age to 77077 at 40 cents per SMS across all 3 networks. Terms and conditions apply.
My name is John Nanda. I'm the Manager for Consumer Education at NAMFISA. NAMFISA is the acronym for Namibia Financial Institution Supervisory Authority. NAMFISA was established by virtue of an Act of Parliament in 2001, Act number 3 of 2001. The objective of NAMFISA is basically to supervise or regulate all non-bank financial institutions in the country and to advise the Minister of Finance on related matters. I think from statistics that we have from the micro-lending industry, it is quite evident that most of the Namibians, they spend their income or their money on consumables and not really for the purpose of generating further income. Meaning that someone would go to a micro-lending institution to borrow money so that they can just make it to the month end, or to borrow money to purchase items that are consumable within a short period of time. Items such as food, probably to buy gadgets, smart gadgets like iPhones, not specifically iPhones, but cell phones, which is not contributing to the well-being of the person, rather than just contributing to the status of the person, and that is quite a challenge. The challenges are basically with regard to people who want to live beyond their means, meaning that, for example, your income is $1,000, but when you draw up a budget and just to see how much you are spending probably $1,200, which is obviously $200 more than your income, and this is a challenge. And also the issue of your current society in which we live in. You want to live like your neighbor. You don't know whether your neighbor is getting their money from. You don't know how your neighbor manages their finances. So you also want to impress others. And we've got a culture of how would I to put it blankly, we just want to be as good as the next person. So it is also a challenge in terms of that. In terms of spending wisely, you should look at it from a broader perspective. Not only your income, but also in terms of the products that you use, the financial products that you are using. You might find that someone is having too many insurance policies that they don't need. You probably only need one good policy, but at the end of the day, you find that some people are having 5 policies, 5 funeral policies, where you only die once and you only need one policy. So you can talk to a financial advisor who will guide you in terms of how you can consolidate all these policies into one, so that you can also save some money on those. And also in terms of having policies that you also don't need, that do not fit your lifestyle. Just because someone else is having that policy, you also tend to want that policy. So there's so many ways where one can spend wisely. Because also another issue of spending wisely is also looking at the sales that are going on, that you make full use of discounts being offered. Every now and then we are reading pamphlets, there's a sale here and there's a sale there. So you make use of those and you can save money on them, just not to buy, and also to plan and to budget. Because I think the biggest problem when it comes to spending is that we don't know how much money we have, then we tend to spend more than what we are getting. So the first option is know how much your income is vis-a-vis your expenses. Because you've got fixed expenses, which are like your rent, water and electricity bills, your transport. And then you've got the variable expenses, and sometimes also these are something unplanned coming up. So if you know how much exactly you are getting in, you can also then know how much you need to spend there during a particular period of time. And I think that will help very much.
What type of business are you involved in?
I'm involved in clothing, underwears, materials, only clothing. I'm selling clothing.
What are the main things that you spend your money on mostly for your business?
For my business, only the same things I'm selling, the materials, the shoes and all that things I spend my money on.
How is your spending behavior regarding insurance, banking products, or other financial services?
My insurance for banking is only that, we are having small businesses, né? And whenever we are banking is pulling us down because of their charges they are giving us. Because they charge us also normal like other big business people. That is the only thing.
What do you think you can do to spend your money better?
Me, if I was having more money, I could have spent my money on upgrading my business, you understand? If I was able to buy more stuff and to have more stuff to sell, then I will have guarantee.
What are the biggest considerations before making a decision to buy something really expensive?
Mostly us of small businesses, we are buying expensive things, you understand? Because of our situation. You have to look twice before you buy something expensive, even if it's a shoe or for yourself or maybe something for your house. Then you have to consider before you'll buy that thing.
Now that you have some first-hand information, you can get started on improving your spending habits. Remember, there is no time like the present to start improving your financial prospects for the future. We have mentioned earlier that this episode is supported by the Financial Literacy Initiative. The FLI has developed 2 street theaters which give tips on saving, budgeting and spending in a very entertaining but still educational way. For additional information on the initiative or on spending, you can fetch one of these spending booklets or posters at the Ministry of Finance in Windhoek, or download the FLI booklet on the website below. Test your financial knowledge and SMS the correct answer followed by your name and your age to 77077 and stand a chance to win a cap and a t-shirt from the Financial Literacy Initiative. Remember, SMS your answer A, B or C, your name and age to 77077 at 40 cents per SMS across all 3 networks. Terms and conditions apply. Please remember, the points made in this program are not meant to give you personal advice. There is no one-size-fits-all approach to saving or spending. The point of this program is to give you a more tangible look at how a business person or individual might implement the ideas discussed. There are many other alternatives out there, and we strongly encourage you to explore all of them and see what works best for you. Whatever you do, keep the principles we've discussed in mind and never stop trying to learn more. This is Dantakos GP Milani encouraging you to get finance wise. See you next time.